Hello everyone, I'm Iino. Today, I will be talking about the news that Maersk has taken a highly symbolic step towards resuming transit through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal route. The industry is buzzing today with Maersk's announcement. This week, the Singapore-flagged vessel, Maersk Sebolok, 6,500 TEU class, successfully navigated the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, an area controlled by Houthi forces. This vessel is part of the MECL service, heading from India to the U.S. East Coast. It passed through this difficult area between December the 18th and 19th, and is currently en route to the port of New York, New Jersey. Maersk has described this as a very important step forward. However, it is important to note that Maersk has not declared a full recovery yet. They emphasize that it is the first voyage in a process of gradual progression, contingent on safety standards being met, and a concrete schedule for subsequent voyages has not yet been confirmed. In fact, it's not just Maersk. Over the past few weeks, other major shipping lines have also materialized their return to the Suez Canal. CMA CGM, France, announced the formal resumption of a Suez Canal rotation for its India-US East Coast service, Indimex, starting January 15th next year. They plan to establish this route by the second quarter of 2026, beginning with the first vessel, CMA CGM Verdi. This is expected to shorten transit time by approximately 2 weeks compared to the Africa detour. Other shipping lines. Thailand's RCL, Regional Container Lines, has already commenced a Red Sea/China service. One, Ocean Network Express, and Evergreen are also cautiously strengthening their involvement in this market through slot charters with other companies. The backdrop to these movements is that attacks on merchant vessels have ceased since a ceasefire agreement was reached between Israel and Hamas in early October. As a result, some shipping lines have determined that the maritime security situation has improved to an acceptable level. Accompanying the security improvement, the additional war risk insurance premiums for vessels are also falling. Premiums, which at one point soared to 0.7% to 1.0% of the hull value, are now around 0.2%, the lowest level since the attacks began at the end of 2023. However, a wall, symbolizing the difficulty in logistics, has emerged: the lack of shipper-customer consent. Recently, Germany's Hapag-Lloyd sought customer opinions on returning its India-US East Coast service via Suez. However, many shippers, including through the world's largest freight forwarder, Expeditors, opposed the move. The reasons are clear. 1. Insurance gap. Many cargo insurance policies still exclude the southern Red Sea from coverage, meaning shippers could potentially bear 100% of the risk in the event of an incident. 2. Cost uncertainty. Even with lower insurance premiums, shippers are reluctant to pay high surcharges for geopolitical risks that could flare up at any time. Consequently, Rolf Haben-Jansen, CEO of Hapag-Lloyd, stated that the return has to be gradual and orderly, and we need a transition period of 60 to 90 days, maintaining a cautious stance of continuing the Africa detour route for the time being. The actions by Maersk and CMA CGM are a litmus test for the normalization of the logistics network. Shipping lines want to reduce the extra fuel and fleet maintenance costs incurred by the Africa detour. Shippers, on the other hand, are cautious about shifting the detour-based supply chain, which they spent 2 years building, back to the still risky Suez route. The question is whether Maersk and others can build a track record of safe transit that will lead insurance companies to lift cargo insurance restrictions and foster industry-wide confidence. The first half of 2026 appears to be a crucial phase, dedicated to providing precisely this proof of confidence. That's all for today. Thank you very much.